Welcome back. I'm here at this half of our program with Roy O'Connor. Roy is the representative from our resident council to the Green Spring Board of Directors. And we're happy to have you here this morning, Roy. Let's talk first this morning. I know you're here with an update about lots of things, but it's getting toward that time of year where we will be electing new members for our resident council. Can you tell us how that process works?
It's run by the council, of course, and this year Deanna, the member, is the chair of the election committee. So I just talked to her the other day, and she mentioned that nominations are going to begin actually this week.
Okay.
And people can either nominate themselves or somebody can nominate them, for the council. There are 6 openings this year on the council. There's a total of 11 members.
Okay.
So they serve for 2-year terms. So one year they elect 6, next year will be 5. Happens to be 6 this year. And I asked her about the dates coming up, and she said the actual election will be October 19th through November 2nd.
So coming right up.
So people have a couple of weeks to cast a
So if someone
ballot.
is interested in serving on the resident council this year, what should he or she do?
Well, they can get in touch with Deanna or the member.
Deanna DeMember.
Right, who's the chair of that election committee.
Okay.
She also has 3 other residents and 3 other council people working with her. But there'll be publicity coming out very shortly to everyone, telling them the process where they can put in
And that will be on the scroll and probably in our cubbies also?
Right. There'll be a lot of coverage here at Channel 6. Yep.
So we encourage you, if you're interested in serving on the resident council this year, please take part.
Right.
Nominate yourself.
And the council's been doing a great job working with management. Just recently they completed getting together their budget requests for next year. And do you know that there was like over 180 requests submitted by residents?
I heard that.
Yeah, but they boiled it down to 14. Okay, and that was a lot of hard work. But these things do go to management, and I think most of them may end up in next year's budget. And if they're not, they can bring it to the board, okay? We can evaluate that. But the council's doing a great job working with management.
Serving on the council is a very busy job. It's not one of these hour-a-week jobs, correct?
Well, for the members of the council, I'm actually technically not on the council anymore, but when I did serve on it, I think each of those members is a liaison to a department committee. And it does involve quite a few meetings.
Yeah.
You have to be dedicated.
Yeah.
You have to be interested.
Yeah.
But they do a good job for the community.
Yeah. I say that only for those who may be thinking of running for a council seat, just to understand that you're signing up to be heavily involved.
Right. You're signing up to be involved, but again, it's very, very satisfying, very worthwhile.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
Good.
So you have some items to talk with us about this morning, the first of which I have on my list is diversity, inclusion, and social responsibility. Talk to us about that.
As you know, Susan, I think I mentioned last month, I serve on that board committee. And this year, the committee was given the additional assignment of corporate social responsibility, to really take a focus on that and say, what should our policy be? How should we define that? And so we've been working hard on that. There's 6 people on the committee. In the midst of that, I was thinking that, at a community level, we do a lot of things in social responsibility. And I wrote an article for the Villager last month just talking about, there's a lot of things we do inside the community, like the Scholar Fund, and things like that, as well as outside the community, volunteering at local schools and so on. And it's a testament to the residents. I mean, people do all of this voluntarily.
Oh, yes.
Just because there's a sense that they want to still contribute. I mean, and as we know, seniors can still contribute a lot.
That's right.
So I just feel it's been a wonderful opportunity, and I just wanted to put that out, the article, to let people know all the things that are going on, because and it could be many more, in the future.
And to encourage people.
Join in.
Yes.
Because it's great. I mean, we live, I would say, a very privileged life living in a wonderful community like this. So why not only inside but outside show our appreciation?
And I think it's important for people to understand that there is a lot that they can give to others. There are many ways that they can help others.
Absolutely.
At a point in people's lives when they may think that, oh, well, I don't have anything I can do. There's nothing I can do to help others. There's still a lot.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, I defined it in the article. My view, the committee has to formally adopt something on it. But I think, you know, I mentioned social responsibility, if I could, just a minute, encompasses all we do to behave ethically in our community while reaching out to our employees, their families, our residents, and greater society to improve their lives in the environment in which we live. I mean, it's pretty broad, but it's true. So anything we can do in this area, I think, is a positive. And again, our community, what's our community? Immediately, it's 2,000 residents of Green Spring. But there's outside the gate in Springfield and Fairfax County. I mean, that's the outside community. So we can do things in both places. And so I think there's a lot going on, and I hope we continue to do that. I believe strongly this is what makes Green Spring such a nice place to live.
I agree.
You know, and another thing that comes up sort of tangential to that is, with all the violence that has been going on in the country, I know I've spoken to a few residents and, you know, myself reflected on the concern we have, you know, these shootings and things, the Orlando shootings in June. But, you know, our faith community here is doing a wonderful job. After that Orlando shooting, they did have a day where people could come to the chapel and reflect on that and try to get some, not satisfaction, but some calmness that, hey, things do go on and we will persevere. And again, they've started another programs called Praying for Our Nation. Every month, they're going to have a day, you know, in the chapel. And someone from the pastoral ministries team will be there to lead that in prayer and in reflection, again, on all of these troubles that have been coming across the country. And, you know, sometimes we feel maybe we're a little bit isolated here in retirement and we can't do anything, but I think they're doing a wonderful job. So people who have been feeling kind of down about all this, take advantage of that. I think it would be helpful to them. And
I think that's really good advice, and I think it's good advice just to reach out to others and talk about these issues, because sometimes we can sit in our apartments and watch our televisions and get more and more and more afraid, kind of like watching a television about a hurricane thinking, okay, it's coming in my window at any moment. When we think about this violence, and if we are out in our chapels or just out talking with others, it's helping to calm us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
what else would you like to bring up this morning?
Well, you know, we have the couple of big events next month. One is we have the resident satisfaction survey coming up again.
Let's talk about that.
We do this every year. We happen to use a survey produced by the Holleran Company. Okay. This year it's going to be in September. The concern I have is in the last couple of years, our participation has kind of leveled out at 77% of the people turn in a survey. That means 23% don't. So we don't hear their voice. Okay.
Do you think those 23% are not participating because they cannot physically participate?
Well, they can, but I know some come up to me and say, well, we know, we've heard about this before.
It doesn't make any difference. Nobody listens.
Right. And
let's back up 1 minute.
It's not true, though, you know.
You said the Holleran Company.
Yes.
So let's make the point that the survey is not put together by Ericsson, that this Holleran Company is an outside company that gathers the data and presents the data back to Green Spring.
Back to Green
That
Spring?
it's not Ericsson doing the survey.
No, we hired a company that are outside, and they do many, many other facilities like ourselves. Okay, so they have a large base to compare. We can compare within Ericsson, but we can compare across the country. Generally speaking, we do very, very well against any place else in the country.
But that's to be expected.
People are very high on Green Spring. Last year, you know, we slipped a little bit on satisfaction numbers. We're still above 80% satisfied. We still have over 90% said they would recommend this place to anyone to come here. So, but again, it's, I think we should even be better because this place is a really good community.
We want to encourage people to fill out the survey. Mm-hmm. We want to encourage them to be honest. Mm-hmm. We want to encourage them not to be cynical.
Yes.
We want to encourage them to add additional comments because there is a place to write in comments, and to give suggestions for improvements.
Exactly. I think that's, you know, to push the positive side of it, you know.
Right.
That, you know, is the glass half full or half empty, right?
Yes.
You know, kind of thing. And I think if they could offer positive, and, you know, I used to do it all the time when I was in management before. You know, employees would come in, complain about this, and that's not. I'd say to them, well, what do you think? What do you think we ought to do? And they would be like staggered, you know what I mean? Yeah. Are you asking me to tell you?
Don't just tell me what's wrong. Tell me how I can make it better.
And so management does look at these things. And by the way, this does go to the board of directors. The board of directors, one of our key responsibilities is the satisfaction of residents. And so it's important, take part, fill out the survey, okay? And
if you don't feel that you can physically fill out the survey, if you have assistants or helpers or family members who can record your thoughts for you, don't hesitate to ask for their help.
Absolutely, it's a good point. That's a good point, Susan. Very important.
We have 2 minutes left, Roy.
Okay, very quickly.
What else?
The Resident Benevolent Care Fund, you know, is coming up September 16th. That's the big gala.
Yep, and I think we'll be having someone here next week to talk about that.
Right, and for the newer residents in the community, this is such an important fund, the Benevolent Care Fund, to take care of fellow residents who may fall short on their funds in their later years. You know, a lot of times it could be significant medical bills that can occur, so this is a chance to really help your neighbor and participate. The other thing is that the last thing, as far as from a board standpoint, we did have I remember, I think 2 months ago, I explained to you the Community Oversight Committee of the board. I'm on that, 3 members. Well, we visited here in July. We met with Chandra Kumar and also the council officers, Mary Sue and Gray Parks. And again, we plan to continue those at least a quarterly basis, come to the community, making sure that we're you know, in touch with what is going on, okay? And I like to have the other board members come with me. I mean, I live here every day, but to have them see it firsthand. And the last thing I mentioned is this week we have our quarterly board meeting on Friday. So we're holding it at Ashby Ponds. Okay. We kind of move around. But by the way, in November, we'll be here at Green Springs, so the whole board. Okay. But 19th, and we'll be talking about first half performance. We'll be talking a little bit about repositioning and the things that are going on.
We'll look forward to learning more about that next time. Okay. Okay. We are out of time. As usual, it goes quickly.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for coming, Roy.